And today's the day we are going to start the TVR after 12 years. Okay, that was way too dramatic because let's be honest, it's probably not going to start. But in today's video, I am going to attempt to start the TVR that hasn't been started for 12 years. And to do that, we must have an ignition, and that is what we got last time. So very quick recap. Managed to find the problem why I wasn't getting ignition. It turns out it wasn't actually directly related to the immobilizer. It was actually earth issues I've got. Now I have sorted temporarily an earth to the ignition control unit, which has given me ignition, but whether that is the only earth that's got issues, I don't know. The ignition does seem a little weak. Obviously I haven't tried to turn the car over, so I don't know. And also the blowers are on all the time as well. They don't turn off, so I don't know if that's a dodgy relay or something. Let's just open the door. Where is it? And also I have plugged in my new immobilizer, and that is now fixed. So as you can see at the minute, it's flashing and that tells you that it's active. Now with my new fob here, I don't actually have to do anything with it. I just have to have it on my person. And as soon as I turn the ignition on, that light should go out and stay out. And that means I have, no, actually, I think it just means as long as my fob is with me, as long as the ignition's on, the immobilizer is inactive. So if we just turn the ignition on, look. And there we go, look, it's stopped flashing, which means the immobilizer is fully working, and that should allow me to start the car. And that is pretty much where we're up to. That is literally a recap of the whole last video, but please go back and watch it anyway. So yeah, a few people in the comments did say about sorting the earths out before I go any further. I did think about that, and it is the most logical thing to do. However, because I'm probably going to be let's be honest, I'll be taking the body off this anyway. That will give me, and obviously engine may have to come out, and that will give me a chance to proper clean everything up then. So I'm not going to mess around trying to clean up earths now, because it will just be more accessible to do it at a later date. So I will just leave that for the moment. So yeah, the first thing we've got to do is, I guess, I did turn the ignition on. I don't know if I heard the fuel pump prime. I don't know if it's really obvious on this like it is with other cars, like newer cars, where you open the door, you can physically hear the fuel pump prime. I did hear like a short thingy, but I'm not too sure if it was a fuel pump. However, I'm not too concerned about the fuel pump at the minute. That is another issue for a little bit later on. First thing I'm going to do is remove this cover here, take the spark plugs out, get me a little endo boroscope down there with my camera, have a look in the bores just to see what they're like. And then I've got some fogging oil now as well. We can spray a load in the bores, maybe a little bit of WD-40 as well, just to lube it up a little bit. And then the crank pulley down there has a nice hexagon bolt on it, and I'll try and turn this over by hand first of all, just to see if it's seized or not. Right, I've got my little endoscope and filming on my phone, so I shall bring it across onto the screen now. Does it? There we go. Just about. Right. So we can see. I mean, it's a bit hard because the piston's quite high up, but it looks okay. It doesn't look too bad at all. Can't really see much more than that. Let's just go down to cylinder 2. Might be wet. But again, because this piston's quite high up, can't really see the cylinder walls or anything like that. Let's try number 3. Can't see any issue here. They're nice and shiny and reflective, look, so I'm expecting pretty much the same. Yeah, so if you look at the cylinder walls, they're very reflective, look spot on. So, a bit of spiderweb. And there's the last one. So yeah, although I couldn't see a great deal, it looks absolutely fine. It even looks like it was only last started yesterday. There's a little bit of dampness in some of the cylinders, which I don't know why, but it is just dampness. So yeah, absolutely no problems with that whatsoever. So the next thing I'm going to do is turn it over by hand, I guess. Actually no, I'm going to put some fogging oil down the bores, but yeah, then turn it over by hand. So I'll go get some fogging oil. Right, I've got my fogging oil, so I'm just going to just spray it down the bores really. There's not really much else I can do. Right, I've just got my breaker bar on, and yeah, let's rotate it. I think, look, judging by the bores, it should just rotate. Oh, there we go. Sounded awful. We have movement. However, because of the chassis, I can't actually get much movement at all. So I've just had a look, and I think this is our fuel pipe going in. So if I just remove that, highly plausible. There we go. Well, I don't think my fuel pump worked because that's very dry. Right, so spark plug's all out, therefore no spark. I've removed the input for the fuel, so there's no fuel, although I don't think we've got any fuel anyway. And I've put fogging oil down the bores, turned it over by hand. So I'm going to press this start button here. Where is it on the steering wheel? Where is it? See if the ignition goes out. The immobilizer, sorry. So now I believe do I just hold it down and it turns over. Oh my god, it turned over! It turned over! I'm gonna do that again. Well, it actually turned over. Look at that! Beautiful! So that turns over absolutely fine. Yeah, definitely no fuel. No, I'm absolutely buzzing with that. Let's just turn the ignition off. I was worried that I was going to have a lot more earth problems because I was a bit dubious about the ignition. However, no, that just turned over absolutely spot on. Sounded really nice and smooth. And yeah, really happy with that. So the next thing we've got to do now is get some fuel. So we need to have a look at that fuel pump, find out why that wasn't actuating. Possibly needs replacing, I don't know yet. So yeah, I think we have to bring it onto the ramp. I'll check some fuses. I think I've checked all the fuses though. I'll bring it onto the ramp, get up in the air, and I'll think of a plan to find out why we're not getting fuel. Now back underneath the car, and there is our fuel pump. For some reason covered in oil, not too sure why. Don't think it's anything to do with the split CV boot or not. Don't think so. But anyway, yeah, it don't look great, does it? So I think I'm going to try and unbolt it from its mounting and see if I can get power, or see if there's power to it when I turn the ignition on. If there's not, I'll try and put power to it just to see if it works. And then yeah, go from there. But the first thing I'm probably going to do is, there's my fuel pipe coming from the tank into the fuel pump there. Look, I'm going to disconnect that first of all, because obviously if it does start working, I do not want it pumping old crappy fuel. The yeah, the hose is absolutely yeah ruined. It's just peeling back, look. Jesus, what a messy pipe. Right. Oh no, it's actually rank.
Right, after looking at the connectors for the fuel pump, if you look on that left one especially, it is just completely corroded. So I am fairly confident that the problem is either going to be corrosion, therefore not getting power, or just, I mean, look at that fuel pump anyway, it is absolutely gone. So either way, that fuel pump's been replaced. So I'm just going to cut the wire just short of the connector on both bits, get the fuel pump out, and then what I'm going to do is, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I need to test the wires to the fuel pump to see if there's power going to it. So I am going to try and hook that up to a multimeter and turn the ignition on, and then possibly just test the, if even it matters, could test the pump, see if it works anyway. Well, I've managed to do it. As you can see, got my multimeter hanging up. I've just put 2 connectors on the end of it, if you can see there, and just shoved the multimeter in the end of the connectors. So we have a feed coming in, so I'm just going to lower the car down now, and I'm probably just going to rest the multimeter on the ground and use my other camera to film it while I turn the ignition on. I think it might be alright. If I turn the ignition on, it might just send constant, it should send constant power to it. So yeah, we'll give that a go. Right, so that should be sending 12 volts to it. No! Right, so as you probably just saw, getting absolutely no power. I even tried turning the engine over and videoed the multimeter, absolutely no volts whatsoever. So I've just gone into the back here and just to see if there's any, it's a black and yellow, quite a thick black and yellow and a black wire, but I can't see any such wires going into anything in the back here. So I've just searched on the web to find out where the engine ECU is and found it, and oh my God. What the hell? What the hell has been going on? How has that even got there? That is disgusting. I ain't getting any closer than this massive lever bar. But what the hell? What is that? Is that conker? Oh my God. I mean, where the hell has all this stuff come from? Oh, this is not fun at all. I mean, what the hell? Are they conkers? Yeah, I think they are, you know. How the hell have conkers got in here? Oh, God. Now, I've just zoomed right in, but what the hell is going on here? Found more broken wires, and if I've zoomed in, so I hope you can see it, but see there's a wiring loom just there, look. See, most of the wires are not going anywhere. So, yeah, I don't know at this stage whether it's mice or just corrosion at the minute, because it looks pretty corroded all over there. I'm not too sure. Either way, I have a load more broken wires, and they look quite significant, those ones too. And I just hoped that we were going to get somewhere. I suppose I've found something, so it's at least a positive that I found something else.
Don't worry, precautions were made.
So that's all that hoovered out. There's a lot of dust coming out of there, so I did put my mask on, as you just saw. Quite a few people in the comments were saying I should put a mask on, and it got me worried. So I put a mask on, and yeah, as you can see, look, it's, well,
It's cleaner, but it has revealed more damage. Let me just put my torch where it can show you, like that. Right, let's just get in there. So, oh well, we've got one broken wire here, which I don't know where that plugs into, if it plugs in anywhere. But we do have quite a lot of broken wires here, look. Are they all yeah, so, I don't know if you can see that. Again, there you go, look, there's loads. There's only two in that loom of what? 25, 30 that are actually still left. And that is my main engine ECU, so yeah, that's going to be fun. I literally have no ECU at the time. So yeah, that is going to be very fun trying to sort all that out. And there we go, look, a bit of a closer look at what I'm dealing with. Out of what, 25 odd wires, only 2 remain intact to the ECU. So I'm actually surprised we've even got as far as turning the engine over and got an ignition and stuff, because the ECU is 95% not talking to the rest of the car. So I'll be amazed if that ECU, I mean, obviously it looks like a second-hand one anyway, so yeah, let me just take the connector off and just see what we're working with. You might actually be lucky, none of the pins look corroded. So, the ECU might be okay. So, obviously, first thing I'm going to do anyway is repair all these wires and see what happens. Which is going to be absolutely horrific, to say the least. Fun. Oh, okay. Oh God, there's literally so many. I've just realised I'm majorly stuck and I have a massive problem. This obviously being old school, it hasn't got colour coordinated wires, so it's not like a black wire with a red stripe or anything like that. No, this has literally got about 4 different colours and 5 of each colour. So for example, look, blue, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue wires, all exactly the same. I've got 5 white wires, 5 yellow wires, and 5 orange wires, all exactly the same. I have no idea which one goes to which. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. So I have no idea what goes where.
Well, that kind of brings a premature and annoying, unfortunate end to today's video. First stumbling block, don't really know what to do from here. There may be a few of the wires that I can get around with just by looking at the markings on the wire and matching them up, but I've had a look and that's still going to be difficult as well. So I don't really know where to go from here. I've looked online. I don't know where I'd find a full wiring loom for a TVR Cerbera. So I guess one very long-winded process would be to get a wiring diagram. I'd have to strip the whole interior out because I'd have to find out where each wire goes and do like a continuity check to find out which wire is which. And even then that doesn't guarantee anything because the wires could be broken in other places as well. So yeah, I really don't know what's the best plan of action from here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, first stumbling block, and yeah, it's quite a big one. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.